does feeding wildlife have in common with riding a bike? It's all about balance. Most people think of bird feeders when providing food for wildlife in your backyard. And although feeders are a great way to attract birds, feeders alone do not make a balanced habitat. Just like a balanced diet will keep us healthy, a balanced ecosystem will provide everything wildlife needs to survive and thrive. Unfortunately, most yards aren't very balanced. We use too much grass, a non-native monoculture, instead of a diverse selection of native plants. We also use too many chemicals. Herbicides and pesticides aren't natural and throw the ecosystem out of balance. Birds and other wildlife need a balanced diet to survive. They need insects to provide protein to their diet, especially when they're raising young. And in order to provide insects, you need to provide the food that our native insects eat, and that's native plants. Think of your garden as a piece of the larger food web. Plants are harnessing the energy from the sun through the process of photosynthesis, and insects eat that energy and make it available to birds and other wildlife when they're eaten. If you want to attract birds, you need to provide a critical element of their diet, and that's insects. And in order to have insects, you need to provide the food they need, and that's native plants. When we buy a non-native plant at the store and put it in our garden because the tag says it's pest-free, we're putting a plant in the garden that provides nothing to the local ecosystem. You might as well put a fake plant in the yard. No insects mean no birds. Instead, plant native plants and also leave natural areas of mulch and leaf litters. That's great habitat for insects. And realizing how important insects are to the whole ecosystem gives you a different perspective when you see a plant being eaten by an insect. If it's a native plant, then chances are a native insect is eating it. And if it's a native insect, chances are birds or other form of native wildlife is going to feast on that bug. So now when I see the native plants in my garden are being eaten, I celebrate that instead of trying to figure out how to stop it. It means my garden is providing for the whole ecosystem. It means balance. And you don't have to dig everything up and start over, but you can make a decision today to start buying more natives and planting them in your garden. And it'll restore the balance to your backyard. And if enough of us do it, we can reclaim some of the lost habitat our wildlife need to survive. Thank you for joining us. I'm Carol Bowie Jackson, and here's hoping you smell like dirt.